Hello and welcome to another episode of the Transportation Exchange podcast presented by Rush Truck Centers of Canada. I'm your host, Jason Cuddy, and on today's episode, we welcome Abhi Dhingra, who is the Fleet Sales Manager at ZF Group. Abhi, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you for inviting me over the podcast. It's a good opportunity to have a good conversation. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I agree. We've had you visit us at the dealership and kind of walk through and give us an overview of a lot of the products that you guys support and provide us with. So I thought we'd have you on, kind of share the message. But why don't we start off with kind of give us a little bit of background of ZF, yourself and ZF as a background of who the company is and how we got to where we are with them.
Okay, so ZF is a large conglomerate. The global headquarters is in Germany, Friedrichshafen, Germany. So ZF is a mammoth organization. The last year's sales were somewhere around 44 billion euros. It has 165,000 employees.
Wow.
So the major market share is obviously in the passenger cars side, light vehicles, followed by commercial vehicles, and then the specialty vehicle. The North America headquarters for the commercial vehicle is in Michigan, Auburn Hills, Michigan. So that's where the commercial ZF foray into the commercial vehicle in North America started in 2015 when they bought TIW. And 2020, they bought Vapco. And I was actually part of the Vapco group. And I joined ZF from Vapco. Prior to that, ZF Vapco had an alliance with Meritor, as you probably know. They were known as the Meritor Vapco.
Right.
And so that alliance basically started in the 90s when Vapco was a pioneer in pneumatic ABS. So they joined hands and started distributing products on both Vapco and Meritor. So they split up in 2018. They became two different entities, and then ZF came and bought Vapco. So ZF has a lot of different divisions, and 2022 they formed a newer division called Commercial Vehicle Solutions Division, which I am part of that division.
Gotcha. No, that's one of the things I think we always, being so North American centric, you don't sometimes appreciate the size of some of these companies that are, based in Europe, because we only know what we see here traditionally, right? So, size wise, that's a formidable size company that, with a lot of background and obviously a lot, like I said, a lot of passenger car applications, but you guys are a major player in the commercial world, and may walk us through some of the products that we could be applying to our world.
Right. So I'll just go with the overview of the ZF products. So ZF is in both truck and trailer. So I will start with the truck side of the business. So truck side, it's a huge portfolio of products. So I start with the suspension system, basically chassis modules, dampers with shock absorbers, ABS, pneumatic ABS, hydraulic ABS, air management systems like air dryers, air compressors, braking system, foundation brakes, air disc brakes, steering systems, electric assisted steering, steering pump, steering gear, ADAS, advanced driver assistance systems, collision mitigation system. We're going to talk about that. And e-mobility products. Right now, everybody is going with electrification, so we have launched a few e-mobility products. So there's a huge portfolio on the truck side. Then on the trailer side, we have actually ABS, pneumatic ABS on the trailer side is our bread and butter. We kind of have majority of share, more than 80% of the market share on the ABS market. Then we have wheel end products, air disc brakes, brake actuators, slack adjusters, trailer skirts also. So the trailer skirts are actually manufactured here in Canada.
Cool.
And Yeah, they're manufactured here in Oakville, actually. And we launched a digital connectivity division, which is deals in the trailer telematics side of the business. So it's one of the advanced trailer telematics system powered to the ABS. So yeah, so that's a kind of a complete portfolio on the both truck and trailers. If we talk about on the trucks in particular with Navistar, our products are available with all the truck OEMs. But if you talk about Navistar, I would touch upon just two of the main products, which is air disc brake. So the air disc brake, we call it as a Maxxis air disc brake. And the Maxxis air disc brake is basically a single piston disc brake. We've always been a single piston disc brake for over 25 years. The advantage of the single piston versus dual piston, I think we have talked about it before, is fewer components. It has almost 65% fewer components than the dual piston. So less complexity, fewer parts, lighter weight, more efficiency. The single piston produces the same output force as a dual piston, but it gives you better efficiency because of its fewer components. It's the lightest disc brake available in the market with Navistar is 67 pounds. Some of the more features on the disc brake is like it has a bidirectional adjuster mechanism. So the bidirectional adjuster mechanism is kind of maintains an optimal running clearance between rotor and the patch. So it works with the under adjustment as well as over adjustment. So you don't run into a hot runner situations. The caliper is a single piece monoblock. And the piston is double sealed. One thing I would like to point out, our piston actuation mechanism is a threaded design, which is quite a proven design compared to the competitor gear-driven or a chain-driven design. So that's kind of in a brief about our single piston air disc brake.
Gotcha. No, that's a good overview, and it's interesting, right? Just different designs, but obviously less components, less complexity, less things to fail, and obviously less weight. So all around makes a lot of sense. And then another one you mentioned was collision mitigation on it, which is tied into the Navistar product line.
So collision mitigation system is called On-Guard Active Collision Mitigation System, which is available with the Navistar. But I would like to touch upon a newer version of the collision mitigation system, which is launched. It's called On-Guard Max, but it will be available with Navistar and other OEMs in the near future. So the On-Guard Max is basically, we call it as an autonomous emergency braking system. It uses in tandem with radar, camera, and image processing modules to prevent rear-end collision. So it notifies based on visual alerts, audible alarm, brake pulse, and finally, when there's impending imminent collision is there, it will apply the full braking. So the advantage of this is compared to the previous version was only meant for moving stationary and stopped vehicle. But on this newer version, we have added vehicles as well as pedestrians and cyclists, so which we call them as a vulnerable road users. So it covers vehicles in front of you as well as any pedestrian crossing the truck or cyclists, which is we have seen in Toronto. We have seen a lot of accidents actually lately. So this will mitigate collisions and prevent rear end collisions.
Excellent. Yeah, and you're seeing a lot of take those on now, aren't you, with regards to protecting themselves?
Yeah. Yeah, we're seeing more on the passenger car. More customers are adapting to the collision mitigation system. They want them on the trucks right now. So it is becoming a standard. Still a long way to go, but yeah, people are becoming aware of the safety right now. It also has adaptive cruise control, which maintains a safer distance between the front vehicle. And yeah, and the lane departure warning as well. So it's going to be a very advanced system compared to our previous version. And I just want to mention it. A few months back, we have demonstrated the system to the media as well as to our top fleets in the Fleet Advisory Council, and it has got really rave reviews on the system.
No, it's excellent. Yeah, I know everyone's always looking for the latest technology, and you still want the driver to drive, but you want to do everything you can to protect them and to protect,
Right.
people on the road. And I think
Right.
you said the next generation of technology, which you guys are on with, is not so much just the vehicle, but other things out on the road, right? The bikes, the cyclists, and in all fairness, stuff that's really hard to see in a truck, with the ground clearance and
Right.
the hood. There's stuff you just, depending on where people stand, you can't see. So any extra eyes or any extra, technological eyes, I guess, to put it, is hugely beneficial to everybody.
Right. Completely agree.
Excellent. So, that's kind of what we have available to us today, and coming very soon. What other stuff is ZF working on within the industry that we can look forward to?
So other products, I would like to mention about the other products available on the Navistar is the ABS. You have ABS as well, air dryer. So ABS we call it, is a modular MBSP, modular braking system ABS. So it comes in 4S, 4M configuration, which is 4 sensor, 4 modulators, and 6 sensors, 6 modulator. Then there you have the air dryers. So that completes your what is available with the Navistar at this time. On the newer technologies, we have a couple of products which we have launched in last 2-3 years, and I will talk about them. So I would start with the medium duty transmission. So ZF launched a medium duty transmission 2 years back with one of the OEM, and it will be available with other OEMs in the near future. So this transmission is called Powerline transmission, and it's a 8-speed fully automatic torque converter transmission. Versus the 6-speed available in the market. I would like to point out, like ZF as a company, the ZF name is synonymous with transmission. I mean, you ask anybody, ZF is known for transmissions. So ZF is the only company which make all 3 kind of transmission, whether it's a manual, automated manual, or fully automatic transmission. So what we launch a medium duty transmission is a fully automatic transmission in the North American market. 8-speed transmission, 15% better acceleration, 5% better fuel economy over the 6-speed transmission. One of the unique differentiator between our transmission is that the mechatronics is located in the oil pan. So the mechatronics, transmission control unit, the turbine sensor, all are in the one mechatronics unit. So basically all the hydraulics, where the ball body, where the hydraulic fluid goes to the clutch, is all located together with the oil pan, is integrated to the oil pan. So this design, actually, we had taken it from our passenger car design. So we proudly proclaim that this transmission with the shift quality, it drives like a car and performs like a truck. So the other benefits, other main differentiator is the engine-driven, has an engine-driven PTO. So the engine-driven PTO is basically hot PTO or a live PTO all the time. There are a lot of benefits to it. The transmission has a column-mounted shifter, so a stock shifter there on the medium duty. Some of the hardware advantages has is like the transmission does in the first gear lockup clutch for better heat dissipation. It has a twin torsional damper to prevent vibration oscillation for mainly for the downsped engines.
Right.
It has an optional parking lock, multi-skip shift. So hypothetically, if you have to shift from A to 2, you can do it as a multi-skip shift. So there's a lot of benefits attached to this transmission versus our competitors in the market. The oil maintenance interval is almost like 150,000 miles. The oil filter, the suction filter is embedded in the oil pan, so it lasts for lifetime.
Wow.
So there's many benefits on this transmission, and again, whosoever spec this transmission, it is kind of standard with one of the OEMs, and the customers and the drivers are loving it.
Nice. Now, something to hopefully look forward to from the Navistar side. But interesting, as you mentioned, company that makes all three product types, and as you know, any passenger car, especially as you get to the high performance side, it's it's all your transmissions, right? So it's everyone's very familiar with it. So definitely maybe a new foray into the to the commercial side, but not a new foray of what you guys do as a company. So it's always interesting to take all the expertise from the passenger side and the commercial side. So very, very exciting. What else are you guys working on?
So another product we launched is a steering, which comes from the TIW family. So it's electric over hydraulic steering. Again, this we had launched with one of the OEM, and again, this will be launched with a few other OEMs in the near future. So this is electric over hydraulic steering. There are two kind of electric steerings available in the market. One is in-cab gear mounted, and this is the one which we launched is a column mounted with the electric assist steering. So the basic thing how it works is it provides the torque needed at low speeds and high speeds. So it's called torque assisted steering also. So at lower speeds, it gives you a torque for a better maneuverability. At higher speed, it gives you kind of a torque to keep the steering steady, firm, to keep the truck straight ahead. How it works is the system sends the CAN bus communication through the CAN bus communication. So it sends the signals to read the vehicle speed and provides the required torque for the steering. So it's a speed proportional steering. The benefits of it, first and foremost, is the safety. From the safety standpoint, it's very beneficial. It compensates for crosswind. So imagine if the truck driver is in a Great Plains area where you have a heavy wind blowing. So it compensates for the crosswind and keeps the trucks straight ahead. It provides the required steering effort. I mean, the driver doesn't have to juggle the steering, but it provides the required steering effort to keep the truck straight ahead. It also compensates for the road crowning. We see a lot of crown roads. It also compensates for that. And also road conditions, if there's a pothole, so the steering compensates for that. So overall, the steering, the major benefits, as I explained, is safety. Then the second is ergonomics. If the driver is driving an automotive kind of a steering, so you get less fatigue. Right. And lastly, the most important thing is driver retention and recruitment. I mean, the driver shortage is a big issue we talk about in different platforms, and especially in Canada, we have a major issue on the driver shortage. So this definitely helps with the driver recruitment. somebody who's a new driver, or they like to drive an automotive feel steering. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
So,
And driver tenure is a big one for sure.
So it's called React steering, and it will be coming to the truck OEMs in the near future. Some of them.
Nice. I'll look forward to that, because I know that's always a key thing for drivers, right? Take away the fatigue, get good seats, good ergonomics. Things are where they need to be on the dash. Make the steering, not as tough on them. And it's a better working environment for them. So it's nice to see.
Right.
It'd be amiss if I didn't ask. Everyone's kind of headed along to zero emission worlds. What's in the future for ZF as far as being able to?
So a few months back, we are big. We are making huge investment like everybody else in the electrification. So a few months back at ACT Expo in Anaheim, California, we launched our e-axle. It's called Axtrax 2. So basically, it's a modular e-axle which replaces your engine, transmissions, drive shaft, and a conventional axle. So it's a basically fully integrated modular axle. The axle itself has a e-motor, synchronous motor, transmission there. It has a silicon carbide inverter. It has an actuator for shifting, heat exchanger, and the interface for the braking. So pretty much it covers everything on the drivetrain, which gives a room to the OEMs to put their own components or use a ZF e-powertrain. It gives rooms for the batteries as well. So there's a lot of common interface that OEMs can work on this e-axle. Then there's another product called Central Drive. So Central Drive is essentially replaces engine and transmission, but it works in conjunction with your traditional axles. So conventional axles, it works. So it has, again, the same thing: silicon carbide inverter, e-motor, those kind of things, transmission. So 3-speed transmission on both e-axle and on the Central Drive. So these are the two of the products we launched recently, and they will be coming to the OEMs in the next 2-3 years. We have signed some agreements with OEMs, and you will see these electrification e-axles will be coming soon.
Excellent. Well, something to look forward to, and it's the way of the world, I think, in our industry. So it's nice to see you guys are, up front and in front with it. And I do think e-axles is kind of definitely the way everyone's gonna go as far as configuring their vehicles. So it's
right.
Something to look forward to for sure. So I wanted to thank you for sharing all that information, giving us the background of ZF and what's out now and what's to expect. So we definitely appreciate your time and your expertise on everything you shared today.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you for your time.
Excellent. Well, hey, that concludes today's episode. I do want to thank Abhi from ZF Group for joining us. And to catch up on past episodes, go to transportationexchangepodcast.ca. And until next time, thanks for listening.